welcome to Sunday. Welcome to day 9 of this trip. And today, what is Day going to be doing? Where is he going?
I'm going on a trip. Caves in
Hooray.
Carver.
Caves and what?
Caves in Carver.
In Valencia.
Valencia.
Extremely warm, but extremely less...
Allegedly going to be extremely warm.
But much less walking.
In theory.
Let's just say when you get back, I don't expect you to be collapsing on the bed, unable to move.
That literally is beside the point.
I'll leave you with it in his hands. That's a very scary thought, but we're leaving you in his hands.
What?
And also we'll see the shipyards, the old shipyard from the 19th century. So now it's an area that has been completely cleaned up, and a place that normally on Sundays is really packed, especially if the weather is nice as we have today. This is a typical day of Valencia with no clouds. It's going to be warmer as time as around midday. It's 1870, beginning of the 19th and 20th century. All this area that calls the Porto El Grau in Valencian language, because you have to know that in Valencia, plus the Valenciano and Castellano, we share these two co-official languages. Valenciano, that is very similar to the Catalan language, we can understand perfectly. It's like if I were speaking with someone from Argentina or Colombia, so we can understand perfectly, but each one have their own expressions. But we share Valenciano and Español. In the 1950s, normally the Valenciano were just spoke around the towns, not in the city of Valencia. Currently, in the city of Valencia, there's maybe 60% of people who speaks Valenciano, and we both understand. Someone can speak you in Valenciano and then you answer in Castellano, so it's normal. That is why also we have some of these adverts in the street, the name of the streets or the name of the places, right in both languages. Explain you because I want to explain what are you seeing. This is a complex composed by many buildings. On the very left we have the oceanographic, this great marine park. This is the Agora. It's an open space for multicultural purposes. This is the last bridge of the 17th that we have in Valencia. I will explain why. And in our right hand side we have the Princess Philip Museum for Science. You see that the river was right here, and all these buildings are built up over like lakes, fountains, water, because the architect that designed this complex, that is the name Santiago Calatrava, wanted to remind us that this was the area where the river used to be. And on the right we have the Umbracle. This is like a promenade, a botanical garden with all the trees really characteristic from the autochthonous Mediterranean trees, like palms, jacaranda, lime trees, poplars, and all these things.
Imagine when in the 16th century we were completely abandoned. They have been through many uses. One of them, they have been in the civil war that we have in Spain as a shelter. So, Marshall and
with a candle and it'd blow out.
Follow me. I know where I'm going. I guess. Not I have to ask help. So imagine that this was divided, and this is the big grain store, deposito. Let's go. Follow me, please. Mind your head.
It's quite extensive, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Wow. So much.
Apparently these caves stay at constant temperature, 15 to 16 degrees centigrade. Oh yeah. And like a numpty, I've been in caves before, I know they're cold, so why didn't I bring my coat? Goodness only knows. Hey ho. These boys can jump.
Top category for a winery. We need to reach few agreements, few requirements in order to get that certification. And one of them is to have the vineyards very close to the winemaking process where everything is going to happen. So you can see the distance, the short distance that from this vineyard, from Merlot, we harvest the grapes and we take them right to the trellis, to the hopper there to make the wine. And so this is going to give us security that the grapes are going to be in the best quality. So we are not going to get rotten or oxidated grapes. All right?
That lovely smell again.
Nobody pays attention to that. Right, so now we are in the aging room area, which is the most attractive part of the visit. Everybody loves this place. I think it's because there are some molecules floating in the air of wine. Honestly, this is full of wine, or the mixture of the wood, I don't know. But in fact, nothing happens here, and it's the most boring part of the visit, because the wines here are like us. They are aging, they are getting old, they are slipping, and they are getting all the structure from the wood. So the barrels are made from oak, and we have two countries that provide the oak, France and America, the United States. At the moment, China is already getting there, but so far only France and the United States. The wines that are getting old in French oak are going to be softer, more elegant, more with a hint of vanilla, while the American will be more sweeter, more coconut, more chocolate-based flavors. Alright? So the one champagne. I'm going to explain you with a bottle, and you'll understand perfectly. Are we all? Yeah. So as I said before, well, first of all, before going to the sparkling, these were the swimming pools of wine. Huh?
Yeah.
So the holes will be with holes, and the wine was fermenting here. And if we come here completely in darkness, we still see some sparkling lights left from the wine that was here fermenting. And I had an old guy visiting me, and he remembered that his grandfather told him that he would be with a rope, and he used to come here to get with a jar of wine for lunch and everything. So because people in Spain used to drink wine, I used to drink wine since I started when I was 3 years old. That's the culture part of our Mediterranean culture. All right, going back to the cava. The white wine has been fermented once. We are going to add extra yeast, and then we are going to put this metallic cap. The fermentation takes about 50 days, and then we are going to let the bottle here for 20 months if it's a reserva, or 30 months if it's a gran reserva. We are going to let it in a horizontal position. And after that, after the wine has done its aging process, we are going to turn the bottle to the right every day, bit by bit, until we get the vertical position. And when we get a cava with so many bubbles and so elegant and so delicate, that would be a sign that the wine has been aging for a long time in the, where I showed you, in the bottle and everything. So when you do a tasting like that, you're going to check the color, obviously. You will obviously hold the bottle, the glass nicely, because you don't want to hold it like that to warm it up. You're just going to appreciate the color. And also, one thing, when you drink sparkling wine, you shouldn't shake the glass, because you're going to break the magic of the bubbles and the sparkling. With a red...
Boring literature report. And a much more interesting bit. Whoops. Valencia.
In the other ports we've been in, we've not really seen any moving boats, but here, lots of jet skis and those too.
Sunday as well.
Sailing boats. Oh, there you go, jet skis.
Yeah, during the week,
Looks so fun, and it's also the warmest day of the year of our trip too.
It will be the warmest. Yeah.
And will be the warmest.
This is the day I had my feast.
Yeah. And also we are about to leave, and it looks like we've already turned around.
We're facing the way out.
Yeah, we're facing our way back out. So
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah. They did the reverse.
There's a road round there, so we
We're
can't go.
facing that anyway.
They did the turn during the night.
Maybe he backed in.
He backed in. So
Oh, it's a bit more cheerful because there are 2 good games in order. Oh,
yeah.
tomorrow in Cartagena, home of the Carthaginians, which happens to be the empire you're playing on the Civ at the moment, isn't it?
That's different though.
What do you think Civ's based on? It's based on real life.
Yeah, but that's a whole nation. This is just a city we're going to. One city. That might work. Don't know what he's on about. Look at Civilization 4 on the game channel. But we should be on our way out soon. Well, they're extremely happy with being on the balcony, but she won't be able to get so much sun on it now. She'll just go to deck 19 instead. You should say what
I don't want
that
too
you
much.
enjoyed.
I just want a bit. So.
Yeah, but let's talk about being on deck 19.
It's still quite warm.
It's your substitute for being on the balcony
It's very
now.
warm. Yes.
Very warm, but very abandoned and very spacious, and yet you could just sit there and read puzzles and do your usual stuff in a bigger space. You loved it, didn't you?
I did, but it's not for staying out there long though. It's only if the balcony faces north and you can't get any sun.
Yeah.
Which it will do for the
Yeah.
next couple of days.
Which is why you're going to substitute it for deck 19
I'll just get 10 minutes of work.
occasionally. Say boy,
What, you uncouth youth?
and you'll be the uncouth youth by saying what. How was your time in Valencia?
There's no light on. Should there be a light on?
Well, it's bright here, so no.
Okay.
The darker it gets, the more likely it is to turn on.
I actually didn't go to Valencia, strictly speaking.
Yeah, you kind of did.
No, I didn't. It's Valencia Caves and Colour. Now, the thing was, the caves was, what they did tell you about the excursion is you had to drive about 45 minutes up to motorway.
Up to
Up to motorway.
You couldn't try a Spanish accent. Oh, no, bad idea.
In fairness, we did spend the first 10-15 minutes going through the outskirts of Valencia, and it's gorgeously pretty. They've got some lovely modern
Valencia
architecture.
must be quite massive. I mean, London, it probably takes like 45 minutes to get through
It's
it.
the biggest city in Spain.
Well, there you go. You probably still were in Valencia.
Anyway.
Just the other side.
Anyway, so it was gorgeous architecture, some of the more newer stuff, the more modern stuff.
Did you go past any tennis courts on your way there?
No, I did not. I
Shame.
did go past
Daft.
where the old Admiral's Cup was based, though. It was actually visible from
Because
the
Davis Cup, I think, was held in Valencia last year in
Davis
Spain.
Cup
So.
might have been Admiral's Cup, which is the watery bit with
Yeah.
boats. So no, we went to a place called Regino, which is about, as I said, about 45 minutes up the motorway. And
Is there a scene of you just being really annoyed at how long the journey was?
No, I was fine with that. I dozed a bit, if I'm truth be told.
I was just having for a rage moment.
But the point being is that we went to these caves and we had a look how people used to live in these caves. And the irony of it was, of course, I've been in caves before. I know they were cold, but I was somewhat seduced by the fact that somebody said, "Oh, it's going to be 28 in Valencia. You might need your coat."
And you agreed?
And I agreed because I'm a numpty. Yes, forgetting that caves are cold and that these caves are regularly. What did they say?
Cold.
Well, regularly at was it 20 degrees or something like that, all year round. Anyway, be that as it may. And the funny thing was, before we could get to the caves, our coach was supposed to drop us off. And it was Sunday morning, so everything, even Valencia and Regina, was really quiet. But all these people kept appearing in long purple and red robes. I thought, what's going on? And having a religious procession. But as a result of that, all these roads were closed off, so we had to walk for about 10 minutes from where our coach was before we actually got to the caves. Although there is some footage, I did manage to get some footage of one of the processions as we were coming out of the caves, so that was nice. But then we went to the a vineyard just.
So another wine tasting session.
Well, it wasn't. That was port before. In
There's a major
but
difference.
this was cava, which is basically sparkling wine made with champagne grapes. Although it's not champagne, because you can only call it champagne if it's from the Champagne region of France. So, if it's made here, it can only be called cava. But it's essentially. Please don't misunderstand this. Anybody that hears it, knockoff cheap Spanish champagne. It's not champagne. You can't call it champagne, but it's their equivalent
For a reason
Yeah,
that we don't
because
know.
EU rules. If it comes from the Champagne region of France, you can call it champagne. If it comes from
Just because it's French.
if it comes from this particular region of
Countryist.
Spain, it can be called cava.
It's countryist.
Well, you can only call cheddar if it comes from a particular location.
Yeah.
And so on. You can what?
Somerset.
Somerset, aye.
Yeah.
So, but that was really interesting. Just having a look at a bit of the vineyard, and the best bit, as always, is where you go into the wine store where they're maturing these things. So they had all these barrels, and the smell coming from the barrels was
How they make the stuff that ruins people's lives, well, it's just alcohol.
No, alcohol. The wine doesn't necessarily.
Sometimes.
Drink is excessive. No, the thing that actually I knew most about the process anyway, but what got me.
But actually seeing it.
No. What got me was when they talked about where they get their oak barrels from. They either get them from America or from France, and the French oak barrels to mature the wine in
are more expensive, and the American ones are about half the price. But the thing is, once you've matured, say 4 or 5 batches of wine in there, it leaves a certain residue on the oak, and then you can then sell these barrels to whiskey makers, and then they mature their whiskey in there. And as a result, the barrels are actually worth more after they've been used 4 or 5 times than they are when you buy them, although they are quite expensive when you buy them anyway. Do you see what I mean? So it's kind of quite
Vaguely.
quite weird. Although apparently, needless to say, the Chinese are doing cheapo versions themselves now. Didn't know Chinese grew oaks.
Was that your trip, or was there more?
That was pretty much it.
Which you got back past the 2 o'clock we expected you, so obviously something had happened.
Well, the thing was, by then, driving back through Valencia, whereas it was deserted when we set out at 9:30.
Very busy when you were on your way in.
On the way back, that's because people were going out to restaurants and things for Sunday lunch and so on and so forth. So
that sort of thing, yeah.
Absolutely heaving. But it was a good trip. It was a good trip. I have many worse excursions. Well, not many.
How do you rate your excursions? Porto, Gibraltar, and here in Valencia so far?
I would say Gibraltar.
Because I was there.
No. There were other monkeys there, but I won't rate that. Acting tough. You're tough. Help! I'm being oppressed.
Don't make me tickle you.
Thank you. Gibraltar first.
Because of me, yes.
Porto
You viewers know this.
second, and then not Valencia third.
Or partially Valencia third.
Slight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. That's how I rate them at the moment. Anyway.
Yeah. And what about the darts and the swimming pool we've done since then? This is interesting.
I don't know.
The darts you got a 134, and then one more comfortably than double one this time.
Nice to come down from 501 in less than about 5,000 darts.
I mean, they took less than half an hour, so...
Yeah, so we played round the clock, and I won that too.
Well, I got my one with my first shot. I got to 4 quickly, and then could not get to 4 until you had got onto the ball route.
But I was stuck on 1 for ages, and then I accelerated after that. So
because you're very annoying.
Skillful, talented, and handsome. You know,
his ego really needs to be battered a bit. I got to 6.
No, it doesn't. Trust me, it doesn't.
And how about the pool? It's not the pool I went in yesterday, but it's the other side of that centre one, the one without a screen.
Put it this way, I found that when I got into the pool, it did help to say, as soon as I got into the pool, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
And it also helped the fact that me, of all people, was saying, it's a bit cold.
Yeah. If you, Mr. Notoriously, I haven't got any proper temperature sensors in my skin, says it's a bit cold, then it must be somewhat chilly.
There is no reason for my dad to be saying this either.
Not very cold.
Yes.
But
I knew it was cold though. It's not like...
You did not.
Yes, I knew it was...
You jumped into the pool anyway. Your teeth were chattering. You go, it's not very cold.
I jumped into the pool because I was a toddler, but I knew it was cold.
Did not. You were lying through your chattering teeth.
But I still knew it was cold in my head.
Yes, but out your mouth.
I wouldn't be lying unless I actually knew it was cold.
You were in denial. Deep denial.
Okay, fair point. But we were talking about what was harder, Gibraltar or the pool?
The pool by a country mile getting to that. Freezing water. I now feel sorry for athletes like footballers that they tell them to jump into a bath of ice water just to help their muscles recover faster.
To be fair, that's the suggestion I gave my dad at the end. If you put your back out or cause a serious injury in the next few days, you know what to do. Jump in the pool after 8 o'clock. Ice cold pool.
Flash freeze it so the muscle solidifies as a sort of solid popsicle.
No. Just jump in the ice.
You do realise because you're backlit, you can hardly see your face.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You.
I, on the other hand, don't put your foot there.
I didn't get you there.
Hold my back. Hold my back. Still got the chair.
Well, there you go. His back is gone. Now he needs to run to the pool. Run quickly.
No.
Get into the pool
No.
now. Run. Run.
Run.
Run.
Get a hammer.
Run.
Like the thorn you're proud of and fling it in your general direction.
I love you too.
Uh,
Anyway, good night, viewers. We'll see you in. What's the place tomorrow?
Cartagena.
Cartagena. That's a name I just can't grasp in my head at all for some reason. We'll see you there. And we are finally on our way back now. Once we departed Valencia at like 5:30, we are basically going down the path that we had just been on. So we'll be seeing the land and the sunset this time, but we won't get the sun all over us this time. So Mummy will have to get to deck 19, as I said before, for sun. So see you guys on tomorrow's vlog. Banter.